And in the first 10 laps, he somehow manages to more than kiss the wall like Senna back in the day was kissing fucking 12-year-olds. Let's be real, Lance doesn't deserve a seat in the sport whatsoever, and the fact that he has a seat, such a fraud, actually such a fraud. He's hogging the seat like you're literally playing musical chairs. Doesn't deserve it at all. The fact that he's been in the sport for 7 years and hasn't improved whatsoever, basically gotten worse. It's kind of embarrassing. Let me know down in the comments if you guys think that Lance Stroll should keep his seat, and if not, then tell me down in the comments. Why should they subscribe and like? I don't know why you wouldn't. Just do it, because why wouldn't you? Just do it. And I hope you enjoy the video. I think it's best we start off from the beginning.
In the beginning.
Chronological order? Yeah, I guess in his junior categories he was alright. He won like Formula 3 and that's...
Anyway.
Yeah, but no one really cares about that because he's been in Formula 1 for like 7 or so years. So let's start off in 2017, his rookie season. Let's be real, he got absolutely dominated, absolutely slapped up. Beat into the ground like a Cherokee drum by Felipe Massa in quali, that is. He was like 6/10 back, 17-2, kind of embarrassing.
Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
And the 2 times agreed he did beat, Massa in Italy on a front row. That was good, and in Azerbaijan where he scored a podium. So I go, good highlights, but everything else in quali wasn't too good. But with that said, the first of many Lance Stroll frauds has just come into play because he was only 3 points behind Massa at the end of the season. Now, yes, Massa was getting old, but Lance Stroll was a rookie. His season wasn't bad. Doesn't get any better than that. His car was meh competitive in 2017.
I mean, it's all right, like...
But now 2018, their car was kind of shit. They scored a total of 7 points. 6 of them was Lance Stroll, so fair enough. But yet again, quali is so bad for Lance. You know Sergei Sorokin? Who the fuck is that guy?
Who the fuck is that guy?
We haven't spoken about him since like the 90s or even maybe even the 80s, maybe. But no one remembers who he is. No one cares. He's old and used. And the fact that he managed to beat Lance Stroll head-to-head in quali 12-8 is saying something. The fact that he's not in F1 and hasn't been in F1 for a while now, and we're comparing him to Lance Stroll. Anyway, yes, fair enough, Lance Stroll did score like a lot more points, compared to Sorokin in the races, but quali yet again is so bad, so bad. In 2019, it's literally the same thing over and over again. The script just keeps on writing itself against Lance Stroll. Quali 2019 slapped up in the racing point, absolutely dominated. 15-1. What? How is that bloody how is 15-1 possible? That's like a Logan Sargent-esque performance. And this time he didn't like do well in races either. Sergio Perez scored 33, whilst Lance Stroll scored 19 points. Yes, he did get a P4, but yet again, he's just frauding himself one good point finish, and that kind of saves him for the rest of the season. And that's just absolute bloody fraud. That's what he is.
You're faking a fraud.
2020 quali-wise wasn't too bad. Perez beat him 7-5 with an average quali gap of like 10th.5 here or there, and it was 1-1 between him and Hülkenberg when, he stepped in. But you see, the thing is with Lance, he might be doing bad in quali, but then he's doing slightly better in the races. If he's doing, better in quali, he's doing a bit worse in the race. Fucking hell! How does Perez finish 4th in the Constructors, whilst Lance is chilling in P11? How is that possible? How? Yes, Lance got 2 podiums, fair enough. Well, you know what? Well done. But Sergio Perez managed to win from like 20th to 1st. And Perez is a shit driver, let's be real.
Overrated as fuck.
Now, being completely honest, 2021 was actually a pretty good year for Lance. It's taken him 5 years or so, but finally, a good year. Now, he didn't out-qualify Vettel. It was 8-14 in favor of Vettel, but in the races, he 10-7. Something went well for Lance that year, but he scored less points. But yeah, yes. We all know that Vettel scored a podium in Baku. Kind of frauded, and that kind of, helped him get more points than Lance. But overall, a pretty alright season for Lance Stroll. This was all masked behind, the whole championship battle. So no one really cared or paid attention to him. So, irrelevant. 2022 was a bit worse. Vettel was obviously better in the race, 10-9, and in quali as well. It was 13-7. And yet again, 1-1 Hülkenberg, Stroll, they've had some things in the past as well. But things just, it might just be a bad season. 2021 was a good season. 2022, maybe a slight dip in performance. Surely, 2023 can be slightly better. New teammates, new car, new everything. It's gonna be good, right? In 2023, partnered with Alonso. He had sheer and utter domination. Some can compare it to Max Verstappen's domination in 2023, but fucking hell, Alonso, you are... Alonso scored like 7, 8 podiums up the top literally every race, or where he could be, or whenever, you know, the car enabled him to do. For like a period of 10 races, they were like the second fastest car. And Alonso, yes, scoring like 7, 8 podiums, something around there. Guess how many Lance Stroll scored? Yeah, 0.
Imagine that.
He started off the season alright, I guess, with a P4, broken wrist, so, you know, he was kind of, nah. Mid-season comes around, and my guy is literally in the wall every race, fucking twiddling around with I don't even know what, finishing P18 when his teammate is battling for good solid points in like P6, something like that. And then at the end of the season, he has the audacity to be like, nah, actually, I'm an alright driver, pulls it back slightly, and has, honestly, a good last 5 races. Bahrain getting a bit ahead of myself. Yet again, also slapped up in quali 19-3, and in the races, it was 17-4. If I had words to express my fucking... I don't know what to say. How is Lance Stroll 7 years in the sport? I don't get it. I don't. He's the same skill level as Latifi, maybe slightly better than Mazepin, same as Logan Sargent, maybe. Some can compare him to Marcus Ericsson, Verline, maybe. I don't know, but he's just awful. I think the best way to describe Lance Stroll is just being bipolar. But like, not mentally, but his skill-wise. I don't know how my man can fraud himself good point finishes on one occasion, and then the next race he can go back to being a Lance Stroll, twiddling about in P15. I don't get it. In a good car as well. Anyway. 2024 is now here, obviously. And Bahrain, this is what I mean. Bahrain was a good race. Tapped around at the start by Hulkenberg, was P20 for a while, and then he frauded himself into a P10 finish.
You are happy now? You happy nothing else?
Only 1 position behind Alonso, which is impressive. Like, genuinely, I was shocked, rooting for him. Come on, Lance, you got this. But then Jeddah rocks around. A pretty poor performance in quali, let's be real, compared to Alonso. P12 for Stroll, like P6 for Alonso. And in the first 10 laps, he somehow manages to more than kiss the wall, like Senna back in the day was kissing fucking 12-year-olds. He breaks his axle, can't turn, and as a result, smashes into the wall on his own in the race in the first 10 laps. But you see, the thing is, Aston Martin will never be able to get rid of him because fucking he's the son of the owner of the fucking team. So that's just, no, that's not gonna happen. But that means that they're fucking losing points, they're losing money. Last year, they could have finished P4 instead of like wherever they finished. They could have been ahead of McLaren instead of P5, they could have been P4. That would have been better, more money, right? Yeah, we all love that. But I guess Lance Stroll really doesn't care. His dad has all the cash in the world. Why would he need an extra like 12.5 million? It's just too light for him. It's funny to me that a rookie driver in Ollie Behrman, who has never stepped a foot, okay, he has in practice sessions, but his first race ever in Formula 1, he had like 1 hour of practice and that's it, and manages like a P7? Not crashes, not touches any walls, and Lance Stroll, an experienced driver, been at the track 3 times, and crashes.
What?
Let's be real, Drogovic isn't gonna get the seat because it's Felipe Drogovic and he's fucking washed now. Won F2 a couple seasons back and no one really cares anymore. But I think the majority of people who are, well, below Aston Martin and the constructors would want to take that seat and would take it with open hands because it's a good race car, it's a good team. The only bloody flaw in that team is Lance Stroll and the fucking boss of the team. But who am I kidding? Formula 1 has the 20 best drivers on the grid. There is no better drivers than the 20 best on the grids, am I right? Aston Martin now being a midfield team literally quite in the centre, 5th in the Constructors last year, and probably going to end up 5th this year unless something weird happens and whatever. What Aston Martin really needs is someone who can actually drive the car, help develop the car with past experience, and doesn't crash out the car, doesn't make any major mistakes, doesn't cost the team a shit ton. You know, that's why Vettel was a key part in the team. He really helped develop the car and turned it into what it was at the start of 2023. I can nearly guarantee you that Stroll made 0 input.
Oh, let's make the steering wheel turn left when we turn left, and right when we turn right.
Sorry, what? That's Lance Stroll. And with Alonso now wondering, should I leave Aston Martin for another team? Mercedes might be a good option, they have a free seat. And Red Bull, maybe if Sergio Perez can't keep up with his current form, you know, that might drop down and then there's a free seat in Red Bull, let me go there. Because Alonso, 42, 43 nearly, I think. He is literally only in the sport because he wants to win another championship. Aston Martin at the start of the season were close to providing Alonso with a worthy car, but they failed, and this year it's a midfield car. Like, he actually has to just go to a top team, and spots are available. Mercedes, maybe potentially Red Bull, but that's pretty much it. If he leaves the team, who's going to replace him? A rookie? Dragovic? Probably, maybe not. They might decide to pick up a rookie, maybe Albon, someone, but they really need two good drivers to help develop their car. That's why Mercedes has pretty much never had a rookie in their car, because they need someone to develop their bloody car and not crash out and cost the team. And that's literally the whole definition of Lance. Type up in Google, Lance Stroll. I guarantee you, you know where it says, did you mean? It'll probably say the guy who crashes every race and can't score any points and is shit and awful and very shit and very awful. That's what he's gonna say. Anyway, that whole Aston Martin team is kind of fucked with Lance Stroll being there and Lawrence Stroll being the owner of the team. Like, the team's like, what? I mean, my guy's getting his bread up. He's stacking his money 6 foot tall, standing up on it. He's probably like 7'7". There's nothing I can say. I can't hate on the guy. Get your bread. Yeah, that's it. But do all of that whilst being closer to your teammate. Because at the moment, you're like, what, 5/10 off? And that's very embarrassing knowing that you've dedicated your whole life to this. And that's all that you can show for. IndyCar? Anyway, with all of that said, I'll be happy to be watching Lance Stroll when I'm fucking 65 years old. Him being however old he's gonna be and still be clocking around in the Aston Martin, clocking around fucking 20 seconds behind everyone per lap. Don't worry, I'll live to see it and I'll be happy to see it. That is if he doesn't have a fatal crash at fucking 50 years old because his neck can't take anything anymore. I hope that doesn't happen though. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you thought down in the comments. And whilst you're there, subscribe and like, as I say literally all the time, because I have some great ideas for this channel. Come along for the journey. Anyway, hope you enjoyed, and peace.